I think it's just very specific to where we are, like our locale, and very rooted here. And so therefore, I think it is unique in that, you know, nobody else could be making something with exactly the same flavour. I'm Lucy, this is Stephen, and at the moment we're sitting in our organic brewery, which is called Futtle. We're here on the east coast of Scotland. I'm just looking out of the window there at the sea. We're just outside a little fishing village called St Monans, about an hour north of Edinburgh. And we've been here in this former stable block since 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're organic brewers. We make we make beer, and we also specialise in selling natural wine and records. We make organic beer because we think it tastes better. You're using a kind of more natural ingredient. We use organic barley, organic wheat, organic rye, organic oats, and organic hops. And it's really quite simple to make. And it's, I think, a little bit better for the world if we make organic things.
When we started brewing, we actually enjoyed foraging casually with our family. And when we were thinking of the types of beers that we would like to make, when this was all just an idea, we realised being in Scotland that actually one of the plants that don't grow at all well here are hops. And traditionally in Scotland, instead of hops, people would have used plants that grew wild. So when we first started, nearly every beer we made, the recipe was based around a foraged plant. And that's continued, although we do make now beers without any plants in. So things like seaweeds from the beaches. We use a lot of hedgerow plants like hogweed, tansy, Alexanders. We've just made a pineapple weed one, which is really summery, kind of scrubby relation of chamomile, but it looks much, much worse. It tastes delicious though. It's really like juicy pineapple-y. I think it helped us stay really connected to the seasons outside, so thinking about seasonality and how we could make a beer that was truly seasonal when we weren't harvesting something like grain every season. So the plants really helped keep us focused on the outside and our location, because a lot of things grow here well by the sea that don't grow inland, maybe don't grow in England as well. So it was a way of really being connected to our place. We didn't realise this when we started either, but it's actually what we do is quite unusual. There are only a very small number of dedicated organic breweries in the whole of the UK, and then brewing at the sort of scale that we brew at is unusual. We also experiment with yeasts, so just behind us up here we've got a big copper tub called a coolship, which is seen in Belgium mainly, in the areas where they make lambic beer. And we've been brewing into this vessel here for 3 seasons now over the winters and filling barrels with a wild fermented beer. So rather than using pitched brewers' cultures, like yeast cultures, we have relied on airborne microbes and microflora and yeast to do the fermentation for us. We also use a borehole for our brewing water. Most breweries just turn on a tap, but ours comes from the ground. And I think that does have a really marked impact on the flavour of the final beer. All of our beers are slightly tart, so even when they're not sour, you still get a kind of fresh acidity right at the end, which we quite like, and we put that down to fermentation and water, the water source. So yeah, there's a few things I think that make it unique.
The other thing that we have tried to do is use the space to put on really interesting music. You can go to any pub and hear karaoke, but we decided that we were going to have more interesting artists come and play here. So we do a bit of that throughout the summer. I think it's quite a nice atmosphere. It's quite friendly, it's quite kind of community, family.
The summer feels really different here to the rest of the year because it's so full and busy, and every village you go to has twice the population it does at other times of the year, holiday makers, and I really enjoy the summer. Just lots of people around from all over the world, but and different parts of Scotland. It's really nice to have so many different sorts of people come through the door and discover us.